Angela!
What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Wrath2501 here. Okay, guys, I thought I'd do something that looked interesting. This is what is everybody doing in the current setting, the 42nd millennium of Warhammer 40k. Alright, so this seemed kind of interesting. Like, what is the current status? I mean, has the galaxy made any kind of progress, or is everything just pretty much just par for the course? You know, just constantly it's the same shit for the past 2,000 years. Anyway, this is, of course, by Major Kill. So let's see what he's got to tell us, and go.
Today we'll go over what each faction
Cut out an advertisement there
is up to in the current setting of the 42nd millennium. From that, we should be able to get a good staging ground for where the plot will go next. Let's get into it.
Not really, because GW sucks at writing.
To get you up to speed, Warhammer 40k lore had kind of stagnated until the 13th Black Crusade, where Abaddon destroyed Cadia, split the galaxy in two with the Great Rift, and Guilliman was resurrected by the newly formed Ynnari and Belisarius Cawl. That was the big setting shake-up that everything else has been launching from. Guilliman then rallied a fuck-off massive fleet and launched the Indomitus Crusade in order to retake and secure Imperium Sanctus, which is the site of the Imperium that the Astronomicon still shines, as well as secure key areas of Imperium Nihilus, which is the site of the galaxy where the Astronomicon no longer shines due to being blocked by the Great Rift. However, Mortarion and the forces of Nurgle attacked Ultramar, causing Guilliman to take a large part of his forces to fight Morty in the Plague Wars, whilst the Indomitus Crusade fleets broke off to cover more ground. Guilliman battles Mortarion across Ultramar before they finally duel. Mortarion, being a fuck-off big smelly moth demon, overpowers G-Man, who probably rates his dueling ability way too highly, and injects him with the God Blight, a Primarch-killing virus. Guilliman straight up dies. But he survives.
Yeah,
so the opening of the Great Rift flooded the galaxy with psychic energy. The greatest psyker to ever live is the Emperor. Hence, this power-up has allowed the Emperor to somewhat pull his fractured consciousness back together and begin directly intervening in the galaxy once again. Hence, the Emperor possessed Guilliman, saved him, then lit Nurgle's garden on fire, directly burning the Chaos God. Mortarion is then banished and imprisoned by Nurgle for his failures, more or less knocking Nurgle and the Death Guard out of the game for now, ending the Plague Wars. Guilliman then began preparing to fight the Tyranids. However, the return of the Silent King and the creation of the Pariah Nexus, a device that threatens to insta-kill all life in the galaxy, has drawn Guilliman's attention towards the Necrons for now, with the Silent King and G-Man showdown on the horizon. Before I get into more about the Necrons though, what about the Eldar? Eldar lore was looking pretty promising. They got a bunch of new characters, models, and the potential to awaken a new Eldar god of death who could challenge Slaanesh. Yvraine led multiple quests across multiple craft worlds to beat back the armies of Slaanesh and recover various Crone swords. If they found all of them, they could use them to awaken Yned properly. However, this quest ended pretty shitly, as it was revealed that the final Eldar Crone sword was in the palace of Slaanesh itself, more or less unreachable. Sadly, the Eldar books were quite poorly written and had shitty plot lines, so they didn't do very well, resulting in this kind of lore getting shunted and them not achieving anything of note. Currently, Yvraine is going across the galaxy, Loki acting like a bit of a bitch for Guilliman as she recently recovered two powerful artifacts for him that he might be able to use to help counter the Great Rift. Craftword Baal Tan is still fragmented, Iyanden is still a ghost ship, and Ulthwé may be about to get devastated by a united Night Lord's Legion, but that plotline has yet to materialize. In a similar vein,
because nobody cares about the Eldar
have been lacking meaningful lore lately, with Vect still doing random shit to consolidate his power whilst trying to stop his subjects from joining the Ynnari. A much better gig than the current murder-fuck everything situation that the Dark Order usually get involved in. And I'm not even going to mention Exile Eldar lore. Harlequins are just doing Harlequin shit, I really can't keep up with them. With the Eldar's recent range refresh and hopefully solid sales, we're definitely due for some juicy Eldar lore. The Tau Empire isn't the loudest when it comes to their lore, but they are trugging along, constantly inventing new shit that pushes them closer and closer to a technological powerhouse. Commander Farsight is still alive and kicking, recently featuring in the Arcs of Omen narrative as he fought some Orcs and Chaos whilst managing to resist the Call of Khorne. Shadow Sun continues her service as the Tau Warlord. However, she's beginning to have doubts about the Empire as she secretly helped Farsight avoid capture at Tau hands. The Tau definitely need a bit of lore love. Maybe a hectic Eldar and Tau plotline could start.
They just pretty much need to be ignored. They're pretty lame.
Active in the galaxy, leaving terror in their thousands as they accompany various fleets across the galaxy. Constantine Valdor has also begun to emerge, creating a pocket dimension in the warp that is full of supercharged blank clones, custodies, and winged blood angels, as well as a huge fleet. He has been preparing for something massive for thousands of years, and with the force he has with him, could either save or destroy the Imperium. As for the Necrons, whilst most of their lore involves the fun and lovable Trizin the Infinite, who is currently trying to find a way to enter the Great Rift, whilst also throwing a bunch of Pokeballs
He's a
at people
klepto.
along the way,
Yeah, he's a klepto.
is the return of the Silent King, who has retaken command of his dynasty, rallied numerous other dynasties to his will, and now controls a section of space which is under the effect of the Pariah Nexus. Basically a device that creates a wide-range null effect that shuts the warp down in a specific area. He basically wants to blanket the galaxy in this aura, defeating Chaos and the Tyranids, but also completely fucking over the Elder and the Imperium, as it would kill the Emperor, shut down the Astronomicon, and make warp travel impossible. Gilliman has directed large amounts
they
of
don't care
warriors
because they
to
don't use the
attacking
warp.
Pariah Nexus and preventing its influence from spreading. The Silent King has been shown to be an honourable opponent, sparing enemies who fight well and with honour. After all, his ship is so OP it can vaporise worlds in an instant, but he only ever uses it like that if the enemy have been a bunch of pussy-ass bitches. Respect. Currently, we are waiting to see the showdown between him and Gilliman. Chaos has been a busy little bee lately. Buzz buzz. The Arcs of Omen story
Really?
was all
You had to
about
put that
chaos,
mark in-
with
remark in?
Abaddon teaming up with a new character called Vashdor in order to create dozens of Arcs of Omens, super chaos ships, that would then be used to retrieve numerous key fragments. They succeed, creating the key. Vashdor and Abaddon are now searching for the lock, which is thought to hold a special Old One's artifact that could ascend Vashdor to godhood and give Abaddon a massive advantage in his war against the Imperium. Angron is back and stronger than ever, shredding through Imperial forces and even managing to overcome and corrupt one of the main wings of the Indomitus fleets. A huge victory for Khorne. He was recently banished by the returned Lion, who bludgeoned his skull in with a shield. However, due to Khorne's favour, Angron returns from banishment extremely quickly.
Didn't
these
Angron
days.
kill,
The usual 1,000
Commissar
years being
Yarrick?
reduced to a handful of weeks. As stated, Mortarion is in Nurgle's naughty corner, but what about the other demon Primarchs? Well, Fulgrim is said to finally be active again, invading fringe worlds at the host of a Slaneshi horde, but the details are currently slim. Perturabo is actively helping Abaddon with weapons and tech viruses, but he himself is yet to step into the light. It's still unclear if he is actually a demon prince or has turned himself into a Primarch dreadnought to slow down his death due to the curse Fulgrim placed on him during Angel Exterminatus. Lorgar is still hiding from Corvus under the guise of quote-unquote meditation, whilst Magnus is still reforming after his banishment on Fenris and then by Gilliman on Luna. The whereabouts of Omegan is still unknown. However, with some loyalist Alpha Legionnaires still being active in the galaxy, it's safe to say he's still kicking. Now a juicy one. What is the Lion up to? Well, Old Mate recently woke up and kicked some ass. After awakening with a newfound ability to teleport, he visited many worlds of
Convenient.
Imperium Nihilus and saved them from all the bullshit going on. While doing so, he has encountered and redeemed many of his fallen Dark Angel's sons. Eventually, he was found by the Blood Angels, who brought him to a battle where the Dark Angels were fighting against Vashdor, Abaddon, and Angron. The Lion was able to kick Angron's ass and send him screaming back to hell, whilst Abaddon's fleet retreated from the Blood and Dark Angel onslaught. The Lion is currently on the Rock, leading a massive army of Dark Angels that is
The
more or
Rock?
less the Dark Angel Legion reformed, as it involves the Dark Angels chapter, their successor chapters, and the Redeemed Fallen. How about Balsarius Call and the Mechanicum? After all, it seems like he came, brought back Gilliman, created the Primaris, and then just kind of fucked off. Well, everyone's favourite mechanical hentai
Conducting
monster
research.
is still busy. He recently travelled to Sothar to study the Pharos device to try find a way to build a device that can seal the Great Rift. After pranking a Catan shard, Call was able to more or less
Pranking?
get the blueprints of the Pharos device, find others across the galaxy, and find a bunch of Blackstone, the building material of the Necrons and other advanced races. So he is currently trying to use all this info and material to build something that could seal the Great Rift, and even potentially close the Eye of Terror. The Tyranids have been a bit of a dormant threat for a while, after the defeat of numerous key High Fleets. However, with Leviathan recently winning the Octarius War, as well as the arrival of new High Fleets, they are gearing up to be the big bads of 10th edition. I'm not really sure which character is going to be the one to hold them off, with G-Man on his way to the Silent King and the Lion fighting against Chaos. But it
I
could
thought
actually be
Gazgul
a
was
dope
fighting them.
opportunity for some unlikely alliances to form. Tau and Elder take on the Nids, Fuck me, even seeing some Necron and Elder fight alongside each other for the first time ever could be sweet. After all, if the Orcs and the Imperium or the Iron Warriors and Imperial Fist can team up against a greater foe, then surely the mechanical Egyptians and the Space Elves can as well. Saint
No,
Celestia
they have
was recently
their
killed by
beef
Kali
goes back a
Betrayer
long
in
time.
an anime tier duel. However, she has recently passed her horrific trial of resurrection and is back in the fray. The Orcs lore has kind of stopped recently, with Gazkel getting a new bigger body and leading a gigantic fleet that has yet to arrive somewhere meaningful. People were hoping he would be the one to take on Angron and get revenge for the death of Yarick.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll be the one to stop the Tyranids' new offensive. But for now, a couple million Orc ships are just kind of hanging out somewhere, looking very menacing. So that's the broad strokes of
They're
who's
just
doing
standing
what in the
there,
current setting. Even
menacingly.
just detailing that, I'm sure you can see a bunch of waves that are about to break. The obvious one
It
is the
just
showdown
looks like
between
more of the
Demon
same
and
old shit
Silent King,
happening.
what Gazprom
Oh
is
yeah,
about
a
to do
lot
in
of stuff is going to
Armada,
happen,
what
but
the fuck
doesn't.
is Valor going to do with his Uber army, and what will happen when Vastor unlocks the Olan's Vault. I get a feeling that this edition is going to be a big one, with a lot of payoffs finally landing. I'm really curious about what will happen with the Tyranids, and if they manage to land a serious blow. I'm hoping that it doesn't become just like a Nid vs Imperium thing, but instead a Nid vs Galaxy thing. A spanner that fucks with everyone's shit.
Well, yeah, they're literally out to kill everything. Okay, so yeah, so basically, yeah, Warhammer in the galaxy. Basically, well, some stuff happens. For the most part, same old stalemate shit. Everybody's fighting everybody. Anyway, well, that was at least informative. It's just pretty cool to hear about some of the stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like this video and subscribe if you did. Definitely click on the link to the original like and subscribe over at Major Kill's channel. He has some of the more questionable stuff I have to cut out at the end of his videos because let's just say he his Patreon has some of that slanussy. Anyway, so I'll see you guys next time. Tune in every day for new content. Bye bye.